Hey everybody, welcome to the ReCoop. I'm Cooper Daniels and I'm a guy that knows a little about a lot. And today we're continuing with the crypto series and we're talking about Hedera HASHGRAPH, Hbar. What is it? What's good about it? What's bad about it? And in the end, should you invest in it? It's gonna be like a ReCoop TED Talk. Hopefully quick, easy to understand, and almost certainly a shit show. So let's get into it. What is Hedera HASHGRAPH? It was created by two guys named Dr. Leemon Baird and Mance Harmon. Mance Harmon has worked for the Missile Defense Agency. He was the course director for cybersecurity at the Air Force Academy, and he's a longtime friend of Dr. Leemon Baird. Dr. Leemon Baird has a PhD from Carnegie Mellon, taught computer science at the Air Force Academy, and he is the inventor of HASHGRAPH technology. And he also looks like the Joker's sweet cousin. Hedera HASHGRAPH was created by them and it went live to the public in September of 2019. So it's a relatively new project, okay? And yeah, it seeks to be the trust layer of the internet. It's distributed ledger technology, just like blockchain, but it's not a blockchain. HASHGRAPH is a bit difficult to explain. It's hard. It's like trying to explain to your dad why Logan Paul exists. You know what I mean? It's like explaining to Kanye that other people exist. It's like explaining to your wife why you keep on buying so much goddamn cryptocurrency. It's hard. It's a hard thing to do. But here, I'll give it a shot. It's based on directed acyclic graphs, which basically means instead of a blockchain, it's a graph, right? Instead of this linear thing, it's this non-linear thing. They use the gossip about gossip mechanism and virtual voting, and essentially what happens is a computer says everything it knows to another computer, and then that computer says everything that it knows in the previous computer to another computer, and then it randomly just talks to all of the different computers, and eventually all the computers know all the things, just like gossip, right? And it's all time-stamped, and it's able to put everything in order in a fair way. And it uses something called virtual voting, but they don't actually have to vote because the way the system works, the system already knows how you would vote based on all the information that you have. It's a trip, and it works really well, and it makes things extraordinarily fast and lightweight. Currently, it's 10,000 transactions per second, but they say they could easily do more, up to 500,000 transactions per second. And then once they implement sharding, they can do unlimited, infinite transactions per second. So this thing is super fast. It's also very secure, and it's also extraordinarily cheap. It's like a fraction of a penny for a transaction. They have the Hedera consensus service where permission networks and decentralized applications can just plug in and use the network. They have the token service where you can mint and fungible tokens like cryptocurrencies and central bank digital currencies, or non-fungible tokens like artwork or real estate or supply chain things. And they have a unique governing council. Currently they have 21 organizations that are part of this governing council, and they are seeking to have 39, but they're not there yet. Like I said, they're new. You have Google, IBM, Boeing, T-Mobile, LG. It's decentralized in the sense that it is global organizations, and they're on all different fields, banking, tech, telecommunications, universities. You can only be part of the governing council for 2 3-year terms. You can come back after a 3-year waiting period, but you do have to leave after 6 years, and then you can come back after 3 years. So if Google does 6 years, and then they leave for 3 years, and then Hedera HASHGRAPH and the governing council is like, we kind of liked having Google around, they can have Google back. So what's bad about it? Any smart investor knows the bull case for their investment, and they also know the bear case for their investment. So here it is. Here is what I see as the bear case for Hedera HASHGRAPH. Okay, so like we said, we have Dr. Leemon Baird and Mance Harmon are the co-creators of it. Well, they also are the co-creators of a company called Swirlds, right? And Swirlds has patents on HASHGRAPH technology, and they have licensed out the rights to their other company, Hedera HASHGRAPH. Okay, fine. Swirlds is also on the governing council, but they are the only permanent member on the governing council. You may be hesitant to take part in Hedera HASHGRAPH because you're going to be like, all right, it's a for-profit corporation. Somebody owns the patent to the technology. A lot of the people in the crypto community may look at that and that might be a turnoff. As it stands right now, consensus in Hedera HASHGRAPH is permissioned. The only people that are allowed to run a node are the organizations that are part of the governing council. So there are 21 nodes currently going, and you can't just run a node if you want to, okay? So it's closed. It's closed in that way. And their goal is to keep expanding those corporations up to 39. And once they reach the 39 organizations, they'll keep it permissioned until they get about like 100 other organizations that aren't part of the governing council. And then they can run nodes. And then once they have like these 150 nodes that are permissioned, then they'll make it permissionless. That is the plan. There is 50 billion HBAR that were minted at the beginning, okay? And it was put in a treasury. If a majority of these 21 corporations wanted to up the amount of 50 billion HBAR, they could. Why would they do that? I don't know, because many of them have a lot of HBAR, so why would they want to dilute themselves? And the majority of these 21 corporations can make any decision that they want. Now, you would have to think that why would they do anything that's not in the best interest? Well, yeah, I get it. I understand that. But it's a concern, at least. Especially people in this space may look at that and think, well, this feels centralized. This does not feel decentralized. Well, I think on the other end, Hedera HashGraph's like, look, these are organizations that span the world. Really kind of the main thing that I think gives me pause about Hedera HashGraph, and it's the tokenomics. So as it stands right now, nearly 50% of the 50 billion HBAR have already been allocated. They're already called for. Haven't all been distributed, but they're already called for, right? For example, Swirlds was given 2.5 billion in the beginning, and then another billion, and then I think there's more to, employees and everything. And Mance Harmon was given 2 billion. Dr. Leemon Baird was given 2 billion. So right there is 7.5 billion just to Swirlds and the two creators of Swirlds. So that's a lot to Swirlds. Swirlds also gets 10% of all the revenue. So monthly, it has to at least be $625,000 worth of HBAR to Swirlds every month. So that's a lot. That's a lot going to Swirlds. And then they did something called Simple Agreements for Future Tokens, SAFs, and they sold about 20% of the total 50 billion at very cheap prices to raise money in the beginning, which are being distributed slowly over the years. And then they wanted to slow that down even more, so they renegotiated it for people that were willing to do so and gave them bonus. So there's now more HBAR going to these SAFT buyers. Like I said, about 50% of all HBAR is already allocated, and it is being dumped on the market consistently. And if from my quick kind of assessment of it, it looks like 2023 is going to be difficult because a lot's going to be hitting the market. The tokenomics of this are problematic if you're looking for huge gains. I'd like to know what you guys think. Put it in the comments. Let's talk about it. This is what I think. I think that it is very exciting, the partnerships. I think the technology is new and it works very well. And they obviously have the governing council, which is also very exciting. You never know what these people are going to be announcing. And not to mention that it seems that they're on the verge of being listed on Coinbase. And we all know that that pumps a coin, at least in the beginning. And, I think that they're well suited to deal with regulations and all that. And we know that the United States is definitely going to be coming down with some regulations. Now, if you go on sites like StockTwits and Discord and all that, you see a lot of people talking about $10 HBAR. Well, I don't believe that that's a realistic thing. If it does happen, that's going to make some people at Swirlds extraordinarily wealthy. And I think it's actually impossible because of all of the tokens that have already been sold and that are being methodically dumped into the market. I believe that you can buy HBAR at the current prices of 21 cents. But I would temper my expectations on how far that could go. And I would realize that, okay, this is more of a long hold, and it's because I believe in the technology and the people running it, right? This isn't like gonna make you rich quick. There are things that are happening. Proxy staking is supposed to happen in Q4. Proxy staking will allow you to make some passive income. What do you guys think? Did I represent the bull case and the bear case accurately? Put it in the comments. Let's talk about it. All right? And if you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe. Also, another cool thing is HBAR is coming to the Celsius network. That's cool. Celsius offers interest, and it's competitive interest. If you haven't used Celsius, sign up for it and use my link. You'll get $50 worth of Bitcoin. If you transfer $400 worth of cryptocurrency into your Celsius account and you hold it for 30 days, you'll get $50 worth of Bitcoin. Use my link. It's in the description. All right. Hey, everybody, thank you for watching. Do your homework.